Look, this was supposed to be a simple Facebook Live with me and my buddy Nate Kennedy. Our plan was to bust out his fireside chat formula live and write a story that can't be ignored. 2 minutes before we went live, tech fail. I can't connect this thing to Facebook. Zoom has got me again. But me and Nate weren't going to let the technology ruin our fun. There was no way. So we recorded the fireside chat formula anyways. What was supposed to be a simple demonstration of how his story formula worked turned into us talking smack about one of the biggest lies online. I called it Russel lied. And the poor saps that believe this lie are chasing their tails while other people get rich. After you listen to today's show, you can call it whatever you want. Let's jump in. So this is my man, Nate Kennedy. Nate, tell people who you are.
All right. I am a father, family man guy who happens to do marketing for a living. So a little bit about myself. I've been in the industry for over 16 years, basically built my own businesses through direct response marketing, through paid traffic, through taking good offers and plugging them into funnels, and then some really bad offers too over the years. But
wait. Yeah, tell me about one bad offer. Come on. You brought it up. One that's going to make us laugh.
I got that on the instant investor cash machine system.
Wow.
I had all the buzzwords in there. All the buzzwords back in the day, 2007, I think.
I don't know what it is, but I want it. I don't care what anyone. Bring it back. Bring it back. All right. So what are you doing now? What's the good offer? What's working now?
Good offer. Really, the biggest thing is finding a real problem that, solve a real problem for real people, right? It's one thing I like to say, solving real problems for real people. The problem is everybody tries to, good offer does a couple of things. One, it solves a real problem, but the challenge is a lot of people always try and sell what the person needs and not what they want, right? So we always come back to this little saying, sell the sizzle, give them the steak, which is kind of important. So, there's all kinds of good offers out there in the marketplace, right? Offers can be solving a problem. Offers can be very timely for what's going on in market, right? So you're starting to see a lot of things pop up now that are about bots, right? Because everybody's talking about bots. So everybody's an expert in bots now. So that stuff's going on, right? But those are good offers because those are timely offers. What's that?
Cryptocurrency. That's where I thought we were going with that.
I was going to go there, but we don't want to beat a dead horse, man.
All right. So Nate, let's talk about what we're really here for. So your company is it the name of your company or just your group, Infinite Acquisition?
Infinite Client Acquisition is the group. The name of my company is Optimized Assets. And that originated from basically, I used to be an investor in real estate, hence instant investor cash machine system or whatever we called it. And I really started getting online, and my goal was to help people optimize their assets, right? Like what we do, we take your online assets and we help you optimize them to make more money. And that's where that company name came from. But, over the years, we've created a process and a system we can call it client acquisition. So,
yeah, that's interesting. That did appeal to me, actually, because that's what we do as real estate investors. We buy underperforming assets and then we optimize them. Yeah, that's no wonder. That makes sense now. I'm like, why do I like this guy? He's speaking my language. That's why.
Yeah, there you go.
So Nate, let's talk about this. We I put a poll out there in the AP group, the Authority Podcasting group, and I asked people if storytelling was indeed important for their marketing. And for some reason, not everybody responded. That's okay. I forgive you guys who didn't respond. But everybody that did respond said that storytelling is important, but most people don't know how to storytell, don't know how to string words together. So why is storytelling so hard? Why doesn't it come naturally to us?
It doesn't come natural to me at all. It's tough. And that's why I struggled with it. That's why we had to come up with a framework, right? I think, storytelling requires you, one, to be vulnerable sometimes, right? Which is a very tough thing to do, because isn't it easier to just pound your chest and tell everyone how amazing you are online? So I think, with that, it's storytelling. It's a challenging thing. I've read all kinds of books on it, trying to figure it out. It's just tough to do, but it's very important in regards to making sure that if you want to bond with people online, because it's one thing hanging out with somebody like you and I hanging out in a mastermind and snowboarding together. You're going to bond over that relation, over that process, right? Whereas online, it's very, very tough to bond with people because there's so much disconnect, right? It's easy to read something and move on or hit the love button. And then that's it. That's the bonding. Hey, I like that guy's post. So there's got to be, you got to let people in a little bit to your world, and it's hard to do online, but got to be done.
So that's actually what we're going to be doing today. And you brought an example, since
yes,
my awesome tech skills have not allowed us to go live on Facebook. Thank goodness you came prepared with an example. So what was it that caused you to put together? And is it called the fireside chat formula? That's what I want to call it, but
yeah, that's what it's called, fireside chat formula.
Good.
And I was struggling, and I was really struggling to come up with content for and I would just get, you know how people get writer's block? I'd get content block. How do I know what to talk about? If what I'm talking about, does it bring value? Or am I just going to, because I can get over technical sometimes and just get really into the weeds talking about things. So I'm like, well, we don't really want to do that. Everyone will get bored as heck. So I had to come up with a process, and it's come over years of just learning things that, I'm not going to build a lot of storytelling talks about building the plot and all these things and pieces in it. I'm like, on Facebook video today and on online video, you see a lot of the good, quick, pointed videos were things that I liked, right? And so I'm like, well, if I want to create that content, it's easy for me to pop up a video, but I needed a simple formula. I needed a simple process that would make it easy to do, and also make sure that I didn't just get on and ramble and then I'll get off and go, and then people go, man, that guy's kind of, what the hell is he talking about? Right. So there has to be a structure. If you're going to take the time to create the content, you might as well put some value in it. And then, as we all know, bonding's super important in today's world, right? Because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So there's a kind of a thing that I do with our formula to make that happen.
All right. So we're going to dive into this, Nate. I want to dive into, and I know you have an example for us, but before we dive into it, you and I are ahead of anybody watching us because you have a PDF that you put together for this. So where can people listening get that PDF if they want to download it and then follow along, watch the video later?
Yeah. So one, we can drop it in here. Two, it would be optimizedassets.com/fireside-chat.
All right. Optimizeassets.com.
I'll tell you what, let's do this.
Oh,
yes.
He's about to get techie.
I'm going to get, yeah, right? Why don't I own it?
Yeah.
So what you guys want to do now is just go to firesidechatformula.com.
Firesidechatformula.com. This guy's a genius. He's a genius. All right. So storytelling is hard. I was
going to buy that if I didn't.
You had to buy. I know all about I got to get that domain name. I have so many that I haven't used. So I'm glad we were able to get one of those to use for you.
So we're taking them off auto renewal.
Yeah, exactly. And even calling for refunds. Like, I don't want this stupid ass domain. All right. So telling stories is hard, but telling stories is effective. You said you like those shorter videos, pointed. Mm-hmm. You don't want to ramble. And so what did you come up with? Let's play the game.
Yeah, and I can share my screen if you want.
Yeah, why don't you?
Yes, let me do that. So what I came up with was this flow, right? It comes out to a couple different pieces, right? And one of it, let me kind of step back. Like, for me, the reason I came up with this because I could sit around. I started thinking about sitting around the campfire, right, with my family and friends. Like, the stories just flow. The education flows because you learn from the stories, right? And that's such a great bonding moment with families and friends. Or when you're just sitting around hanging out at night and, maybe you're having a beer on the back porch, but the conversations go and they're super easy, right? There's a lot of bonding that happens. You go and talk about different stories and whatnot. So I wanted to be able to come up with a process that allowed me to kind of do my best to get that same effect and that same flow online, right, with people. So here's so you can download it when you get over there, and you can download it. It's got fireside chat. The main goal, obviously, is deliver value and bond with your audience. That's goal number one. And then I just put this in here so everyone knows. We call it a circle of trust, right? So this is nothing revolutionary, but is also very important that I think a lot of us fail to realize. There's a lot of people that are unaware of us. There's people that are aware of us but don't know what we do, or aware of us and not ready to commit to us. And then there's people that we're their trusted advisor and they're ready to work with us, right? So the goal of this in today's environment is to bring people from the unaware stage to make you their trusted advisor and people that want to work with you that know, like, and trust you, right? The goal is to get in that inner circle with them and through this content. And also do it focusing with nothing, no major, provide your value without expecting anything major in return, right?
Ouch, so that hurts me. That hurts. I'm direct response. You're killing me here. But let me ask a question here.
Direct social response.
Yeah. The 3 rings, are you covering all 3 with one piece of content, or is that different pieces of content for where you are in the awareness scale?
So it just depends, right? You can cover all 3, right? You could put a really good piece together that speaks directly to all 3 of those people. Or you can create content that is specifically for unaware, specifically for aware, and specifically for your trusted, your circle, right? So you can do either. We actually, and I'll run through here as I have, then there's a couple other, so it starts with a big idea, a couple big insights, then you put your bonding story in there, and then you have the value that they're going to gain and potentially an action if you want to give them a call to action at the end, right? But here's what I got when you guys, this is probably the most high-tech process in the world.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like it. Can you print this on paper on dead trees?
You can, man. You can.
So how do you get your big ideas, Nate? What is that? Because that's such a buzz term. And I feel like a lot of people talk about big idea. How do you find big ideas? How do you define a big idea?
So I just keep notes, right? When I think of something, when I have a conversation, if I see something online that strikes a thought, or I have a conversation with somebody, like you and I had a conversation yesterday, and it made me realize a big challenge that I was thinking of in the industry, that I have a content idea now, a big idea to talk around that. So what I do is I actually, and I don't want to say big idea, but a good content idea, right? So what I do is I use Basecamp. So I have the Kennedy Chronicles as my own project. And in the Kennedy Chronicles, there's a to-do list, and it's just ideas. So I just type in my ideas when I have them. And now I've got a list of like 20 ideas that I can always pull from to be able to, if I don't have something, and then I put that content idea right here. And then what I do is, I kind of basically, that's it. I'm going to put the content idea and I look, all right, what's the true big insight that I want someone to gain from this idea or from this content piece? And then I bullet out 2 to 3 supporting points for that. And then I think about a story, like, where did I learn this and how did I learn this? Or a story that kind of gives them insight to me, my history, my past, whether it be business, whether it be family. Bonding doesn't have to be huge. It could be as simple as, hey, I'm headed out to coach my son's football game today, but I wanted to get you this, this video before I did that, right? So bonding can be deep. It could be just an insight to your world, right? What's their value? And then any trusted action you want them to take. If you want to give, here's your direct response world. Any action you want to give them at the end of the video, you can do.
I know you just added that while I wasn't paying attention. All right. So I like the formula here. And so is this only for video? Could this be for blog posts? Could this be for any content?
This could be for anything, right? Like, for me, it's easier for me to do video than it is to write. So what I do is I'll fill this out. I will create the video. And the reason I do this is because a lot of times you can start rambling, and I've seen a lot of people just ramble, and I know I can do it. So they're witnessing firsthand right now as they watch us. But so I want to try and keep myself pointed and on task. And I also want to make sure that there's value in it. So that's why I fill this out, right? But I'll create the video, and then I have a writer on my team that will take that and turn it into a post or into an email as well. So now we have it and repurpose the content. It's just what works for us, but you 100% can fill this out, give it to a writer and say, create this content as a blog post, create this as an email,
I got to ask just a technical question. So you give your writer this document, or you give them the finished video?
Oh, I just jump on live and do the video and send it to them. And they go,
great.
She's in the group. She's in the group. We're friends on Facebook. So she just pulls them off when she sees them.
Oh, bro, that's brilliant that's a nice little hack you got going there.
Yeah.
I just consider it pirated.
Well, every great idea was stolen at least twice.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So you have an example for us on how we can use this.
Let's do it. So for me, there's this big myth in the industry that you are one funnel away from 7 figures. Well, I'm going to bust that one, you aren't one funnel away, right?
All right. So
That's
contrarian approach, being polarizing, maybe.
Yeah. And really, this could go to, well, my trusted circle already knows probably I believe this, right? But this really could go to all three. So the big insight is you aren't one funnel away from seven figures. You are one great offer away from seven figures.
All right. So you've used something that's already being talked about, and then you're taking the energy and redirecting it.
Yeah. And I think, what's the problem in this industry is people believe this.
Right.
And so they spend all their time building funnels. And
I don't even want to. Yeah. What the hell? Funnel for what? Like, what is the funnel? Like, they don't have a business. So what?
Yeah, they hacked it. It must work.
Funnel hacking, baby.
So anyways, we'll move on. We digress. So I think the biggest thing is here. So a couple bullet points for me, right? Is what I would do, the funnel is the byproduct of something bigger, right? You just had yourself a content idea for a fireside chat. I hear you, right?
Yeah, I got the little Sharpie out. I'm going to give this one to you, though. I don't know. You know what? When I know about you, you're too much of a nice guy to write something like this. Because I would be. This article is already called "Russell Lied to You." That's. That would be me. I'd be like, he lied to you. Don't believe it.
Line in the sand.
That's that. Yeah, right. They will go nuts, and then I'll drop it in the ClickFunnels group.
Tech will do you no good if you miss this. Right. So there's kind of my three quick bullet points of topics I want to hit. Right. So, you aren't one funnel away from seven figures. You're one great offer away. Now, at the end of the day, kind of reshifting their mindset. The funnel's the byproduct of something bigger. Right. Yes, a funnel's great. But the funnel doesn't really matter because no matter what tech you have, what funnel you have, it doesn't do anything for you if you don't have this thing right. And that one thing is your offer, right? So that's kind of how I go through that story. Then I started thinking of, all right, well, where was a good learning lesson for me in this process? And back in 2010, I was in a mastermind. I probably wouldn't write this much depth. I would just write the story because it's my story, right?
Well, do the bullets. Why don't we do this? Just kind of like do your one little line or two, and then let's come back and have you do like the video. Like it's not more than about a minute, right?
Yeah.
Minute and a half.
Quick.
Yeah.
So I was presenting this massive funnel I spent months on.
Oh, months on a funnel, huh?
And hadn't sold anything yet. Was in a room that I paid $25K to be in.
You got balls. You didn't sell anything and you're still investing in yourself. I like it.
And then it had all the great, it was all pretty, man. It was pretty, it had all the components. I wasn't missing a thing, dude. The thing was beautiful.
Oh, that sounds super complicated.
Profit fusion method. That's what it was called. Something like that. Profit fusion something. So, yeah, and that's it. And I got to ask one question, right? So their value, so the goal for me, their value in this obviously is simple. Focus on your offer, right? Focus on solving real problems. And then an action could be as simple as, for me, depending on where I'm going to post this, by the way, you could run them into a couple things. I could just say, hey, I got more videos on YouTube if you want more content on YouTube.
No, here you tell them trusted action. Use the firesidechatformula.com.
Yeah, there you go. So there we go.
That I don't know about your offer, but it'll get you telling a good story at least. So it's a step in the right direction.
It is.
All right, give us a video. Like, so you gave us your thought process on how you do it. Give us a quick and dirty. We'll snip this here and put a talking head over there, and you can use it for your content.
Yeah. So let me. So all right, cool. So I'll start it as if I'm doing it live.
Put your face on the screen. That way we could reuse it if you want it.
Should I do it this way? Should we just go live?
Oh, there you go. Guys, killing 10 birds with one stone.
You got my screen? Yeah, so Nate Kennedy here, man, running on the got some very good insight for you today. First off, I got to tell you, you've been lied to. You aren't one funnel away. You aren't one funnel away from 7 figures in your business. And the people, if you believe this, if you've been wasting your time on building a funnel, unfortunately, I'm sorry for you, but we're going to fix that today, right? So the biggest insight that I can give you today is that you aren't one funnel away from 7 figures. You're one great offer away from 7 figures. Let me kind of walk through that process, right? So what happens is a lot of people believe it's the funnel, but the funnel is simply a byproduct of something bigger, right? And so many people, I would say probably 98% of people fail to realize this. And you don't want to be one of those 98% of people. You want to be on the other 2% that has the winning offer. So, and no matter what, if you have a funnel, it doesn't matter if you don't get the offer, right? Because all the tech, all the marketing, all the stuff that you build, all this cool stuff and automation we can put in front of in front of an offer, just as really helps you expand and grow your business faster, right? Because if you have a good offer and you're placing it in the right places, you're going to have people that want to hire you and work with you. But if you got a shitty offer, people just aren't going to work with you. And it doesn't matter how much stuff you wrap around it, it's not going to work. And then you're going to spend all your time wasting your time, energy, and money on fixing your funnel or blaming traffic or blaming your webinar, which, could be your webinar because your offer's bad, right? So, but here's the thing is I learned this a while back. The reason I learned this and how I learned this was I was at the receiving end of getting blasted in this mastermind that I was in because I showed up, man. I created these 2010. I was in this mastermind, invested to be in it. And I thought the funnel mattered, right? I thought that there was a bigger piece of it at the time in my newer stages of all this. So what I did is I created this packet. I printed it all out, man. No one ever showed it to the mastermind with like a binder for everyone in the group. And I was so excited. I spent months building this thing called Profit Fusion. And with that, I print it out. I give everybody a handout. Everyone's like, man, you really, taking this serious, giving us these handouts. People, rigging me for a while. But what happened is they all looked at it and they're like, hey, man, this is nice. This is cool. This is pretty. This looks great. But you missed the most important piece. You missed the offer, right? Who are you selling to? Who's your market? They started asking me questions that, aren't very exciting to answer if you haven't done that research. And then you got, you're standing there in front of a room by a bunch of, savvy marketers and you're trying to answer that question. If you haven't done the research to figure out your best offer, then there you go. That's what you need to do. You need to step back, stop worrying about how pretty your funnel is, and go build your avatar, go focus on your offer and do this. Solve real problems for real people. And if you can do that, you're going to be in a position where then you can add the funnel on for it. So really, you're not one funnel away, you're one offer away.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, go to the firesidechatfortoday.com if you want a process for building creative stories and videos that sell. There you go.
He knew he had to get that call to action.
Yeah.
I like it, man. And I felt like there was some ups and downs there. And the part that I'm really taking away from this is that personal bonding part. I think I miss that sometimes. And it makes me come off as a little ruder than I actually am. So I appreciate you reminding me about that.
I think in the bonding part too. So I ended up doing it towards the end there. I mean, there's no method to the madness in regards to that. It's just a couple core points you want to hit in your stories, right? So for me, I mean, you could actually tell the entire thing through the story. I mean, you could tell the story. I could have went and started talking about, hey, when I was in this mastermind, I'll never forget how embarrassed I was. My face was so red, blah, 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 right? Because I showed up and I thought I had the most amazing thing in the world and I just got lambasted on what was going on, right?
Yeah.
And I could tell the story of what happened. And then here's what I realized, I started with the big insight as opposed to, going through the story and delivering the big insight, right? So different ways, depends.
So
depends how you want to do it.
Tell me, man, tell us. So people want to find out more about you. Where can they go?
Yeah, I mean, check me out on, our company sites at optimizedassets.com. Just click that button if you're watching this video. And Nate Kennedy, just find me over there and, connect with me online on Facebook. And that's it. It's probably the easiest places.
You sure?
But don't connect with me and not engage. If we become friends, I want you to heart or wow or haha something.
Oh,
don't like is lazy.
Like is lazy. That's like is lazy. I can't like that. That's awesome. You're messing me up here. All right. So Nate, who just in case anybody wants to know, who is it that you do your best work with? Because I know you and I are getting ready to start a podcast. We haven't named it yet. But who are the people that you love working with? Just in case there's one of them listening or watching.
So we've created this our process that we call infinite client acquisition. So we're helping coaches, speakers, right, that have an offer that's $2,000 or higher, right? We're able to take those offers and help them put it into, we're hoping to take that great offer, make it better, and then put it into an automated system to grow their business, right? And we come in and just, operate as their marketing arm for them so they can do what they love. And that's help them spread their message, help them grow their business, and help them help more people.
So it's kind of like, because when we were talking yesterday, it's kind of like they're plugging in a marketing arm to their existing business, right? You guys are just, it's kind of like the factory. Like, oh, we're the podcast factory. You plug us in. It's the same thing with you guys. They plug you guys in and you get the automations, the marketing, and all that stuff up and running.
Yeah. I mean, over 16 years, we've developed our own processes, our own systems. I've spent all my own money building my own info businesses, and then it kind of parlayed into people hiring me to help them do theirs. And, a lot of companies don't want to go hire an ad agency, a optimization agency, a funnel development agency, right? They don't want to go hire all that. So, we bring that to them, and help them scale their offers out and, help people get it. If you're offline and, you're selling and you've got a good offer and you're just doing some postings, you want to get your message in front of more people because you're truly helping them and you have the results and that you can have a big impact in the world. That's, we're going to help you do that.
Cool. So thank you, Nate. And it was firesidechatformula.com to get a copy of that. And you'll find Nate always hanging around in the Authority podcasting group, dropping wows and hell yeahs and never hitting the like button. Thanks, Nate.
Appreciate it.
There you have it, boys. The Fireside Chat Formula. You are welcome. Make sure to download a copy from Nate. And really, this is one of the main reasons that we started Daddy's Working. Cupcake and I talked about, the message is cool. Yeah, we do our best work with typically entrepreneur dads. That's how it's ended up here. And so this was going to be another way for us to connect with our people. So Nate is a friend. Nate is a client. I am a client at Nate's. And we're going to bring you more of these lives coming up. So just stay tuned to the feed, or if you haven't already subscribed, go to Daddy's Working DDT, Digital Daddy's Toolkit. Grab a copy of the Digital Daddy's Toolkit there, and you'll also be on my email list so I can let you know when we'll have more of these lives, just like that one you just heard with Nate. Next time, I'm going to tell you why perfection is your worst enemy.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.